Bull. I'm the coordinator of Merry Tuba Christmas. We've been doing this, well, depends how you count it, 12 years, except we skipped last year because of the pandemic. But the first year of the pandemic, Marquita, our conductor, actually spent hours and hours, more hours than she thought it would take to stitch together videos of individual performers into a concert. We had about 3 pieces, I think, that we did a virtual concert. But now we're back in person, and we are glad to see you all here. This started in 1974 in Rockefeller Center. Harvey Phillips, who was a professor of tuba at Indiana University, decided he wanted to honor his professor William Bell, who was a famous tuba player who was born on Christmas Eve. So he asked to do a concert at Rockefeller Center with tuba players playing all the parts. And he called Rockefeller Center and he said, "You want to do what?" And he said, "Well, let me give you the names and unlisted phone numbers, some of my friends, Leonard Bernstein and Sostakovich and a few others." And he got a call about an hour later saying, "You can have anything you want." And he wound up having 300 tubas around the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center, that ice rink. And now there are about 300 around the world, several other countries and about every state. So we're glad to be in our 12th year here. G.R. Davis, who was a graduate student of Harvey Phillips, he did most of the work in '74 for putting things together, including, anybody's got a Tuba Christmas hat, he designed those. Anyway, he was our conductor for 4 years. He came up and saw this church decorated, and he said, "Jim, there ought to be a Merry Tuba Christmas here. There isn't one in Detroit." And he said, "I'll come up for the first few years." And he came up from Nashville for 4 years. And then we found our local conductor. But I want to introduce to you now Reverend Jill Zundell, who is our senior pastor. And we're kind of sad that this is going to be her last Merry Tuba Christmas with us because she's retiring in June. So good for a new venture for her, but we're sad to see her go. So Jill, come and do a welcome.
Hello and welcome. We are so glad that you are here. I don't know if you know that this is the oldest Protestant congregation in the state of Michigan, and so we are thrilled to have you here. Alexa, will you stand up? Yes. Alexa and I are matching today, and I could not be more proud. I have never seen this sweater on anyone else, so I'm very excited. We want to welcome you. It is great to see the balcony full, so welcome to you up there. And if you get a chance before you leave, one of the coolest things in our sanctuary is the Great West Window. It is the only stained glass in the world where you will see a lynching in the stained glass. Everything that's on the left are signs of oppression, so there's all different kinds of things. If you want me to tell you more about that, see me later. And then everything on the right are symbols of freedom. And the best part is that on the very top there's inoculations happening. So we are proud of that. We are proud of over 200 years standing for peace and justice. And so if you have any questions about the church, this is not, I'm not trying to win you over. That's not what today is about. But if you want to hear more information about the church, please see me afterwards. But we are thrilled that you are here. It is good to finally be back after a long pandemic that we can join together. So welcome.
By the way, we have merchandise. We have those scarves and hats out there on your way out. Plus, we also have a lot of extra buttons from this year. If you'd like to get one for $2, it'd be a nice souvenir of the event. I want to tell you about a couple other things involved here in Central. By the way, there was just a documentary on Detroit's historic churches, and Jill and I are both in that documentary. It was on PBS. It premiered a week ago today. Anyway, so you might check that out. It'll probably be shown again on PBS. Anyway, two things I want you to know about today that you can take advantage of. Those of you who are tuba players know that you had pizza over in our Swords into Plowshares Peace Center and Gallery, which is just right across the lobby. That's going to be open afterwards. It's an art gallery. There's an art exhibit there, but there's lots of other activities that happen there, so you might want to take that in. And on the second floor, we have the Small World Shop, which is a shop where we feature art from artisans all over the world, beautiful crafts, and it's just reopened after the pandemic, and it's really trying to help people who are poor to have a vocation and to have an income. But it's beautiful work up there, so you might take advantage of that before you leave. But I want to introduce to you now Marquita Moore, who is our director for, 9 years now? Ninth year. And she is director of bands at Cass Tech High School, and she's an alum of Cass Tech, and we're just thrilled to have her, and I want to turn it over to her and her baton.
Yes.
Oh, you got it.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, and welcome to Merry Tuba Christmas Detroit. We are so happy to be back in the sanctuary this year. It's been a long time. We haven't been here since 2019, so we're back and we rehearsed and we're ready. Did you practice? Does everyone have their lyric sheet? Yes. Okay, because there's going to be a quiz. All right, so we're going to start with number 1, Adeste Fidelis. So the way...
No, you play through once and then they sing.
Yes, that was what I was just going to say. So we play through, the tubas will play through it for one round, and then when we come back on the repeat, you'll join in and sing the verse. Sound good? Perfect. All right. Three beats. 1, 2, 3. Tuba Christmas Detroit tuba players. Can we give them another hand because they're back. All right, our next carol is Deck the Halls, number 3 in our book. One measure. 1, 2, ready, go. All right. The party continues. This time we're going to the manger. Away in a Manger, number 25 in our book.
Not to be confused with Away is the Manager.
Right, not to be confused with that. Away in a Manger. Three beats. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Alrighty, so we have a little contest. How many Tuba Christmases have you been to? Who's been to the most Tuba Christmases in the room? So I didn't start until about 2014, so I don't know. Have you been? How many have you been to?
Well, I've been to all 11 of ours, and I've been to probably 5 or 6 others.
Okay.
Probably 16.
Okay, can anybody beat 16 Tuba Christmases? We're coming up on 50 years next year.
50 years.
50 years of Tuba Christmas. All right, how many tuba Christmases? How many tuba Christmases? 9. 9, all right. 15? 13? How many else? Just shout it out. It's okay. 5. 5, yeah. 1.
Anybody do it more than one this year?
All right.
Look at that.
All right. How many of you this is your first tuba Christmas? Yeah. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, who thinks they came the farthest for this Merry Tuba Christmas? We had one year, we had one person from Hawaii. And I think she came just for this, I think.
Who came the farthest? How far did you come?
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis?
Anybody further?
Okay.
Philadelphia. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Anybody from Canada this year? We usually have had some people from Canada, including a tuba player.
They got away from the new bridge.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool. All right, Philadelphia, about 600 miles to come and hear this beautiful concert. Awesome. Okay, let's go on to the next carol, which is It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. This is number 9 in our carol book. I'm sorry, wait, what happened? The first Noel?
Yeah.
Oops, I'm sorry. Oops, number 5. The first Noel. I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry. 3 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, now It Came Upon a Midnight Clear, which is number 9. Five beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. we need a little bit audience participation for this next one. Do we have any kids in the audience who want to help the Tubas play jingle bells? We have some bells for some kids to jingle. We have any kids that want to jingle some jingle bells? Kids or kids?
Come up front.
No age limit here.
Come up front. I want you to stand right up front here. We got bells for you. More bells? Want to play?
Kids are coming, yay!
And there can be adults that are young at heart too. We got plenty.
All right. Yay. And so can the kids stand up here with us? Well,
Any more?
any kids coming down? Oh, hello. Come on over. We have plenty of bells. Okay, come on. You're part of the band. You're part of the band for like the next 3 minutes. Come join the band. Yeah. Right.
The tubas can't do jingle bells by
They
themselves.
do this because, they can't play and jingle at the
They
same
can play the melody, but not the bells.
Okay, so kids, stand up.
By the way, I forgot to tell you that this is streaming on Facebook right now too. So
Oh yeah, we're live.
we're live, and also it'll be recorded, so you can probably find it later. Tell your friends.
Okay, so kids, we're gonna start by helping the tubas by playing the jingle bells. They're gonna start playing, and you're just gonna start jingling. All right, and then in the middle, there's a part where you'll pause, and they'll play a triumphant march. And then after they finish doing that, then we'll come right back in with the jingle bells. Okay? Sound good? All right, let's do
It'll
it.
sound real
Here we go.
different than
Here we go.
jingle bells, that middle part, so you'll notice.
1, 2, ready, and. Yeah, you can clap. Wonderful job. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Can we give it up again for our kid jingle bellers? Wonderful work. Thank you so much.
Future years.
Thank you.
Thanks, all you kids. That was wonderful. Wouldn't have been Jingle Bells without some sleigh bells jingling. Well, I've got a poem for you and then a special surprise. Old Santa brings toys to good girls and boys. He's been doing it year after year. Christmas Eve he flies with his pack through the night on a sleigh pulled by 9 deer. But when he gets back to his home at the pole, before next year's list check and work takes its toll, he relaxes a bit and sits by the fire and throws his dog Jingle a bone, then drifts off to sleep and begins dreaming about a special wish of his own. Santa wants a tuba for Christmas. He knows playing tuba is fun. Santa wants a tuba for Christmas, but who's going to bring him one? Santa wants a tuba for Christmas, a bright shiny tuba to play. Santa wants a tuba for Christmas, but who's gonna bring one his way? Santa knows the tuba blows the jolliest sound you'll hear. What he wants to see waiting under his tree is a tuba toot toot when he finishes his route. Santa wants a tuba for Christmas. He's never had a present before. Santa wants a tuba for Christmas. It's all that he's ever asked for. It's all that he ever asked for. Santa wants a tuba in his stocking this year.
Tyler Schreiber on the tuba solo. Thank you, Tyler.
Look who's here.
Oh, look.
Santa.
Oh my God, Santa. Oh my
Your
goodness.
wishes come true.
Thank you. This is all I ever wanted. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
I mean, can you believe that? All the way from the North Pole, just a week before Christmas, and Santa came to visit us.
Amazing. All right, Santa's looking good. All right, here we go. Let's do Silent Night. Wait, no. Joy to the World, number 14 in our lyric book. Joy to the World. Two measures. 1, 2, ready, and. Hey, before we play Silent Night,
we'd like to acknowledge first all the music teachers who make wonderful talent that we see up here and elsewhere, available in our culture and in our communities. So big shout out to them. So what about a round of applause for music and art teachers? And then we want to remember those musicians, particularly tuba players, who are not with us this year. We think of people like Harvey Phillips, who started Merry Tuba Christmas. We think of William Bell, who he honored with that first Merry Tuba Christmas. And also Alec Wilder, who arranged many of the carols you're hearing today, also passed away. And I believe he passed away on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day a few years ago. So we're going to play Silent Night and think about the season and the meaning of that tune, but additionally think about those tuba players that are no longer with us.
One measure. 1, 2, 3.
The next song is Good King Wenceslas. And you have one verse printed. That's just to get you started, because this one, we're not going to do just one verse. We're going to start right away singing, and we're going to sing through the whole carol, because you don't get the story without the whole carol. So we're going to see how many are going to be with me by the end of 5 verses of Good King Wenceslas.
All 5 verses. All 5 verses. All right. You ready? Here we go. One measure. 1, 2, ready, and.
Out on the feast of Stephen, where the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even, brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel, when a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel. your page and stand by me. If thou know its telling, yonder peasant, who is he? Where and what his dwelling? Sire, he lives a goodly hence underneath the mountain, over by the forest fence, by St. Agnes fountain. Me flesh and bring me wine, bring the pine log hither. Thou and I will see him dine, when we bear them thither. Page and monarch, forth they went together, through the winter's wild lament and the bitter weather. Sire, it's darker now, and the wind grows stronger. Fails my heart, I know not how. I can go no longer. Mark my footsteps, my good page. Tread thou in them boldly. Thou wilt find the winter's rage freeze thy blood less coldly. His master's steps he trod, where the snow lay dinted. He was in the very sod which the saint had printed. Their good Christian folk, be sure, of wealth or right possessing, you will all who bless the poor will yourselves find blessing. And that's a good segue to our offering, which is for our Noah program, which happens 4 or 5 days a week here in this building to help the homeless. And to talk a little bit more about that is Reverend Jill Zundell.
Thank you. How many of you were really cold walking in here today? I know I was. The Noah Project began over 40 years ago here on the second floor as just a bag lunch program, a place where people who were hungry could get something to eat. And it has morphed into a place where we have caseworkers and we have places where we can get them into shelter and permanent supportive housing. It's also a place where we have a clinic and case management and all of those kinds of things. But I want you to think about how many of you here today brought in your birth certificate or social security card? Those are things we keep at home, right? But if you're homeless, you don't have a place to store those. So we store a lot of people's IDs here because you can't get a job, you can't even get into housing unless you have those things, and it's really hard to lose them on the streets. So one of the services we provide is not only helping them get their birth certificates again, but storing them. And then the other thing is, if you have ever applied for a job, you have to write down your address, right? What do you do when you're homeless? So 800 people who live on the streets use this church's address as their mailing address. So Noah is an amazing, amazing program in the church, and one that we like to support as much as we can. I'll tell you a story of yesterday. I was up on the second floor and I met one of our clients. Her name is Amy, and she was telling me how she lives in an empty warehouse because she won't go into shelters because she says they have bed bugs. So she's sleeping in an empty warehouse, and she said, it's not so bad because I have some tires laid down and a piece of plywood and 5 blankets to keep me warm. But Noah's a place where she can come 4 days a week and find a community, get lunch, and get the social services that she needs. And ultimately, we hope to place Amy in housing. So if you could, we're going to pass the plates to support Noah, and if you have any questions about how you can get involved in that ministry, you can see me after worship.
Well, this kind of worship when we have music.
Yeah.
I want to introduce for our offertory Bobby Thompson, who has been with us for years, just a gospel singer and music director. She directs a choir, another choir besides the one at church, and she's been interim music director here. I think for all the years we've been doing Merry Tuba Christmas, she's done the offertory, and glad she's back.
Thank you, Bobby. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much. We give her another round. All done? Okay. Okay, let's go to Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Yes, I just got a SOS text from my daughter. She said the numbers on their lyric sheet are different than the numbers I'm calling. And it's true. It's true. We have our book, and our book has all the carols in order. And I don't know what order it is on your paper, but I'm talking to them when I mention a number. Okay, thank you, though, for helping me. She's always got my back. All right, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. One measure. 1, 2, ready, and... next we get to hear a few of my students. So I'm very excited. Come on down. Very excited. We have the Cast Tech Low Brass Trio is here today, and they've worked up a piece for you. So if they could come on down. So this is very exciting. Yeah. Yeah, we need that, yeah. So, this is their first Tuba Christmas, and your first performance as a trio. Maybe you could take this show on the road. Got it. Okay. So, put that back wherever it was. So the piece that they've prepared for you today is called Frosty the Snowman. And we have here on baritone our leader, Amari May. And then we have the fabulous Talia Frost on euphonium. And our other baritonist, Mr. Dawan Weaver. These students are amazing. They march, they play in concert band, they play in symphonic band, they play in jazz band. So I'm just really happy that they're able to be here today, and thank you. I'm honored to be your teacher and to be able to work with you as well. So I'm happy you're here. Thank you. And let me get my phone. Sorry. You gotta have evidence, or it didn't. If it's not on Instagram. Oh. All right. Are you ready? Yes. 1, 2, ready. Let me help you. Let me help. Okay. Thank you, Cast Tech Low Brass Trio.
Another piece. I wanted for you to help and get involved. We've been doing this for 12 years now, and I've been coordinating, and I hope to continue, but really need help. Could really use committee to help put this on in the future. One, kind of spread the work around, but two, so we're going to sustain this so that it'll keep going well after I'm not able to continue. I don't expect anytime soon, but we got to lay the groundwork now. So things we need are ushers, we need people to help sell merchandise, we need greeters, we need people to help go get the pizza for the tuba players so they're fed and well-nourished so they have the energy to play this concert. And we really could use somebody to help with our cyber presence and also our mailing and email list, managing those. It's just a whole lot for one person to do, and without the expertise on a lot of it. So anyway, what we're going to do, I'm hoping that the ushers are still with us. We've got some clipboards, and we're going to pass those around, and you can sign up, and you have the great opportunity to volunteer to help make this happen year after year. What a great opportunity. So hope some of you take advantage of that.
And can we please give Jim Bull just a round of applause for doing this work for so many years, keeping this going. Thank you, Jim. All right, so our next piece we're going to play for you is a concert piece, so no lyrics to this one. This one's called Patapan. This is number 31 in our book. Give you 2 measures. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, I got a question. Or do you want to ask the question? You ask the question.
Oh.
What kinds of tubas do we have on stage? Well, it's not a stage, but what kind of tubas? You're busy. Okay, what kind of tubas? So earlier today, someone was asking me, like, which one is a tuba? Which one is a tuba? All right, well, these are all part of the tuba family. So we have, who's got the lowest pitched? Any C tubas? Or, okay, so we have a C tuba in the back there. And by the way, if you unravel that pipe that the tuba is made out of, it would be like 40 feet long. It would go from where he's sitting all the way to the back of this sanctuary. So that's the biggest one. And then we also have we got some E flats. Anybody playing E flat? You wanna know? Okay, well, let's see. Do we have any B flat tubas? Okay, so there we have some B-flat tubas, and then we have a sousaphone in the back there, which is the one we use for marching. And then we have up front, we have some euphoniums, which are, you want to hold up your euphonium if you have a euphonium? Smaller tubas there. And then we have even smaller, the baritone. If you have a baritone, hold that up. All right, so that's what we have, but I spy something special here. What are you holding? That looks weird. Yeah, what is that? What is that thing? Can you tell us? Where's the mic? Everyone, this is Pat, and he has a treasure to tell us about.
A treasure. This is a York double bell euphonium. York instruments were made in Grand Rapids during the late 1800s into the 1920s and 30s, and then when they were bought out, like a lot of instrument makers. This horn is a double bell euphonium. It is made in either 1907 or 1917, depending on which serial number list you look at. It's an odd horn. It's pretty rare. John Philip Sousa commissioned York for, I don't know how many it says in the history, but in 1889 they started using horns like this in his band, and they did until probably the 40s, and then they slowly phased out. It's kind of an odd thing. If this is a regular euphonium with a pedal valve and a valve trombone all into one. The euphonium side sounds pretty nice, and you can make the trombone side sound okay, but they were never really a great concert solo instrument. There's a great saying that one of the military bands, who also used these all over America, said that one of the officers said, yeah, the trombonium was a great place to store their white gloves while they were playing. So anyway, it weighs about 45 pounds, made of brass and silver. And I've had this horn since I was in 4th grade. I found it in my grandmother's attic. When I wanted to play the horn, Grandma said, "Hey, I got one of those. I got something." Right. And the look on my first band teacher's face when I brought this in was like, "Oh my God, what's that?" But it's been cool. It's been a good ride.
Cool. Can you give us a little sample of like what each side of it sounds like?
Sure.
The Christmas song. The chestnuts. You're going to do chestnuts. We worked this out. We planned this ahead of time. We talked about this, Pat.
So this fifth bell shifts the other one. They don't ever play together. That would be a horrible
thing. Cool. Can we give it up for Pat Zers and his double-belled euphonium? Thank you, Pat. Here we go. All righty. We'll do another concert piece. This is Carol of the Bells.
And by the way, before they play that, I want you to know that this tune comes from Ukraine. So as they play this, let us send out prayers and wishes for peace in that part of the world.
Two measures. 1, 2, 3, 1, ready, go. We're coming down to the end of our program. I'm so grateful that you all came out to join us today, and thank you for being here. Thank you for your lovely singing. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you to Central United Methodist Church for hosting us, and yes, please. Thank you to Jim Bull for coordinating, Bobby Thompson for the offertory, and thank you to all our fabulous tuba players. All right. Let's go to Angels We Have Heard on High. Angels We Have Heard on High. That's number 17. Whole song 2 times. One measure. 1, 2, ready, and. This is it. Our last piece. Last number. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And we want to wish all of you a Merry Tuba Christmas, Happy Holidays, and everything else. All right, here we go. Number 23. 3 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Great job. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. Drive safely.